Yo, my man, this is not what we discussed.
I was just getting.
City Hall here, or?
Alright, ready? 3, 2.
Wait. Are we starting on one, or one and then we're starting?
What do you want to do?
3, 2, 1, then record. Then you hit the button, yes.
3, 2, wait. Do you have to do every video with your shirt off?
Alright, I think we're good.
Hi all, Throp Wellington here, and welcome back to my channel where we explore Jamaica together and I share my marathon journey with you from all around the world. And for those who are first-time comers to this channel, welcome just the same. And if you find any value in this video at all, please consider subscribing, liking the video. And if you know anybody that might find value in this video, please feel free to share it with them. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than previous videos that I've done. This is going to be a running-centric video specifically on recovery and the recovery equipment that I use pretty much on a weekly, daily basis for my workouts. Before I go any further, I want to give a brief rundown of my history as a runner, as a marathon runner. And I started running, my first marathon was a few years ago. I ran the Reggae Marathon here in Negril, Jamaica. I ran a 3-hour and 56 marathon, I believe it was at the time. And currently, after running, I want to say 5, 6 marathons after that, I'm a 2-hour and 43 marathon runner, which I did in Boston in April of 2019, April of this year. And I'm looking to break 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's my next immediate goal as a marathon runner in Chicago in October. Hopefully I'm able to do it, injury-free, train hard, eat right. And these are some of the equipment that I use to recover from my workouts and from those races, and I wanted to share that with you today. But before we get into the equipment itself, I do want to touch on just general recovery and parts of my recovery that I focus on every single day. And to start with is sleep. 7 to 8 hours minimum is what I'm getting, especially with the load that I'm putting on my body on a daily basis. Not only as a runner, I do go to the gym, I do cross training, whether it's yoga, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's playing other sports. And I want to make sure that my body recovers as quickly as possible and I stay injury free. The second thing is stretching. I stretch every single day. And I do that, one, to try and remain injury free, and then also I'm thinking about the long term. I'm kind of late in this marathon game and I want to stretch it out as long as I possibly can. And lastly, which sounds very simple, is hydration. And I drink a lot of water. It's something that I'm not used to doing, or I should say I wasn't used to doing, but I make sure I hydrate my body. I know my muscles need it. I know my body in general needs it. And that's the only way, or one of the best ways I know how, as simple as it sounds, is to drink a lot of water so I can recover as fast as possible. That being said, let's move on to the equipment. So as you can see, we got a lot of toys here. The information is below and links to each one of them. So if you want any detailed information on any one of these items, you can do so. This in no way is a review of any one of these equipments. This is me simply sharing with you the equipment that I use and how I use them. And again, if you find any value in this, that's great, because that's what we're going for today. So without further ado, let's hop into the equipment. So the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to work our way from the most manual, basic of recovery equipment and work our way all the way to the fancy stuff. No hands, Mom. Let's start with your everyday, day-to-day foam roller. So this is the Trigger Point foam roller. One of my favorites. I probably use this, I wouldn't say every day, but definitely a few times per week. And a lot of this really works on myofascial buildup. You can use it on your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, your shin. And I really do have a love-hate relationship with this thing because it really does hurt so bad.
Hurts so good, hurts so good.
But it works, and it really helps with recovery. It speeds up recovery, gets that blood flowing, and this should be a part of anyone's basic arsenal. I know it's part of mine, and I can definitely highly recommend it. The next one, keeping it basic, keeping it simple, is good old medicine sports ball. And it doesn't have to be one that's made or dedicated to recovery. You can use a lacrosse ball, you can use a golf ball, baseball as well. And I use it for many different parts of my body. I use it a lot for under my feet as well. If you have plantar fasciitis or any type of buildup or knots in the bottom of your feet, you can just use your own body weight to push against it and roll out, and you get them right out. And I also use it on my back as well. So this really helps with that. Next, we'll move on to foot rollers. So I have 2 foot rollers here. So this one is by Trigger Point, another Trigger Point product. And this is the nano foot roller. And as you can see, it's gridded and it really works the bottom of your foot. And then even if you aren't into fitness and you're in the service industry like I am and you're on your feet all day, this really gets the tension out of the bottom of your feet and you feel the results immediately. Working to flush out that myofascial buildup in the bottom of your feet. Again, if you have plantar fasciitis, this is a great item to use to help you really push it out, and also helps with blood flow as well. And this is pretty much the same thing as that, but this is a travel version. This is very light. I actually got this at the Berlin Marathon Race Expo by a company named Black Roll Flow. I don't know if it's here in the Western Hemisphere in the States, but I paid 10 euros for this. Pretty affordable. Item that I want to talk about, which I do not have here, I actually left in New York. It is a product that's made by Trigger Point. It is the Grid Stick. But luckily enough, we have a correspondent in New York who can explain that to us and share how they use it. Take it away, New York Throp. New York Throp reporting live from the Financial District here in New York City, New York. And today we'll be talking about the Grid Stick from Trigger Point. And this is one of my favorite recovery pieces of equipment. Especially, I like to use it. I like to use it on my IT band. Literally just putting it against my IT band and using the necessary pressure that I feel to just really work out that myofascial buildup. I also like to use it on my quads, as well as my hamstrings, my calves, and sometimes even using it on my shins, even though it can be a little bit painful. But again, one of the most effective pieces of recovery equipment out there, specifically to work on that myofascial buildup. And that is the Grid Stick from Trigger Point. Back to you, Jamaica Throp. Thanks, New York Throp. Appreciate that. What a swell guy he is. Anyway, let's move on. So we're going into the semi-manual part of this. Got finance on my brain. This is the R8 roller. And I love this thing. This really works out your quads, your IT band. Also, you can use this on your shins and your calves. And it has a pretty cool design. It uses these rollers to really get in the muscle and gives you a nice tight, depending on the type of pressure that you want, but a nice massage. And this one could be a little painful, but again, it hurts so good. Really gets that myofascial buildup that you might have after training hard, and also helps with blood flow as well. I love this. You just literally just pull it apart. It has a lot of tension in it, as you can see, and it's rolling it up and down, and with very little use or very little strain. Now we're up to the fun stuff, so to speak. And this is the non-manual intensive recovery equipment that I use. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Theragun. And this baby is quite pricey. This is $599 for this massager, which essentially is what it is. I tried it out for the first time at the Boston Marathon Race Expo, and they had a $50 discount at the time, so I got it for 550 bucks. But I would have to say, well worth the investment. In my mind, how I convinced myself to buy this or rationalize purchasing such an expensive item is that I got into this marathon game pretty late. I'm 35 years old, and I want to get as good as I possibly can within the timeline I have, and I don't know what that is, but the timeline I have in this marathon career. If there is some type of technology that I can use to elongate my career or recover faster so I can work on getting faster, I'm going to take advantage of that as long as I can afford to do so. And to me, this gun afforded me that opportunity. Getting into the Theragun, this is the G3 Pro, I believe they call it. This is the highest end one that they have. It literally has two settings. You press the button, turn it on. Setting number 1, setting number 2. And it literally just gives you a massage any way that you need it. Your quads, your IT band, hamstrings, glutes, shins, calves. If you have plantar fasciitis, you can use this on the bottom of your feet. Really gets the tension out. And it also has different heads that you can use. Very easily take on and take off the head. And they're specifically built for different parts of your body or different knots or aspects that you want to work out. And if you're at a race expo and they have this, give it a try. Maybe it's something that you can use in your recovery as well. Next up, last and certainly not least, we have the Normatec recovery boots, which I probably use more than anything else here. I try to use it every single day, as a matter of fact, because it's that good. And there really is no, at least I haven't found any negative consequence of using this. What it is essentially they're compression boots, and there are 5 different compartments in these boots. And with the compressor that we have here, it really just takes air and gives you like a nice, strong, deep massage. And the other thing that it does is really important. It brings up blood that may be pooling in the bottom of your legs, especially after a long run or being on your legs all day, being on your feet all day. It brings it up and also really, really helps with lactic acid as well, lactic acid buildup. And it's very, very simple to use. You just unzip one of these boots. Got one for each leg, slip your leg in uninflated, and then you have the compressor here. Simply turn it on. It has 7 settings that you can use of intensity and pressure. I always keep mine on 7. That's the highest one. And you literally just press play here and it just goes to work for you. And you just sit there. You can do it while you're watching TV, watching Netflix, doing work on your computer, reading a book. They recommend that you do between 20 and 60 minutes per session. I'm averaging 25 per session. I probably try to do this every day, especially after long runs or a hard day of training. And I tried this out at the Miami Marathon Race Expo, where I ran a half marathon, and literally was hooked as soon as I put them on and I tried them out. And they had a deal. I got it for $1,500 plus $100 for the carrying case. So I paid $1,600 for it used. I rationalized it just how I rationalized the purchase of the Theragun. And again, I don't regret it at all. It really, really has paid off, and I think it helps me recover faster than I normally would if I didn't have this. Is it absolutely necessary for me to have? No, but again, I don't know how long I'm gonna be in this marathon game, and so I took advantage of the opportunity. All right, so that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. And if you found any value in today's video, please consider liking it, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this video with anybody you think that might find value in it. These are all the socials that I'm on, so please feel free to follow me on Instagram. That's probably where I am most active, sharing my runs every single day. And also any races that I have, they'll be up on there as well. And once again, thank you guys for joining, and see you in the next one. Let's go.